Have you ever wondered how some people stand out and some people just seem to kind of fit in? Have you ever got maybe slightly frustrated because you know what you do at work or in your business is an absolute gold mine, but you're not really sure why people aren't picking up what you're putting down? Or have you ever wondered what it takes to become iconic? Well, in today's video, I'm going to share a couple of little useful ideas and thoughts for discussion on anything around the visibility kind of wheel and positioning yourself and being memorable and being iconic, but perhaps not in the way you think. So my name's 𝗙𝗶𝗶, you can see there. I'm a visibility specialist, and since 2010, I've been known as the Queen of Being Seen. So for those of you watching this live, I appreciate you and I shout you out because you might be watching it over on my LinkedIn profile, which if you are, thank you. Thank you for those of you who watch these and comment and interact and, question or give your opinions and things like that. You might be watching this on YouTube. Easy way to find me if you think, yes, YouTube, I'd rather watch there, is just put the @ sign in and then follow it with my name there, 𝗙𝗶𝗶, and you'll find my channel. I've been on there a long time. And while you're there, remember to subscribe too. And you might be a Facebook person, with just under 3 billion active users now on Facebook. It's a very busy place. So if you want to see some of the tips I share, some of the conversations I have around visibility, some of the ways that you can make an impact, share your story, and all sorts of other things too, then just type into the search bar or type in @visibilityvibe and you'll see me there, 𝗙𝗙𝗶𝗶, the Queen of Being Seen. Because some of you type in 𝗙𝗙𝗶𝗶 and you find my personal profile and try to connect with me there. And it's nothing against you or the people trying to connect, but my business page is where I talk about life, business, and all sorts of other things too. So wherever you're watching me online, thank you, and do feel free to connect with me in any of those places too. So today we're talking about this idea of iconic visibility. Now, one of the things that I would say this conversation probably isn't for is if you're still grappling with the idea of putting yourself out there. Maybe you feel, I want to say almost phobic, because that's the kind of different levels people come to me at. You feel terrified, petrified of putting yourself out there in any sort of way. You're just simply not ready. You've got so much going on in life that all you will tell other people, and all that I'll usually hear from you is, can't do this, I've got too much going on. It's okay. I'm not shaming you. It's okay. If you've got other stuff you need to deal with that too. But know that visibility is like planting a seed. It grows, it grows, it grows. And if you don't plant the seed, then you'll just plant the seed later, next year, next time, next season. But you have to nurture it as well. And the consistency is like the watering of the seed. But I want to talk about the iconic element of being visible and why that's important and what it is. So although on paper it could look like iconic visibility is being viral with every post, here, there, and everywhere, pictures with famous people, and high profile in that way, that could be an iconic part of being visible. There are very many people that are out there doing great things in the world. They are iconic. And if I was to speak to members of my family, some of my friends, they wouldn't have a clue who I was speaking about. They wouldn't have a clue who I was speaking to. So I want to kind of flip this conversation on its head. There's 3 things to consider. I'm about to get on a train, so I'm going to kind of like drop some nuggets, but would like to hear more from you about if there's something else that you'd like me to uncover, scratch the surface of, or explore. But the first thing is that people who are iconic, they know who they're speaking to. And I'm not talking about niching down to one person, Melanie, 44, who lives in Surrey, married with 2.2 kids and a dog and a cat. I'm not talking about niching, and I'm not talking about demographics. I'm talking about a true deep understanding of who your clients are. Now, although this could sound like a conversation that is for the business owner, the speaker, the author, the consultants only, actually, whenever I go into corporate environments, and somebody recently commented, thank you so much for your comment on my live stream. Oh, this is interesting. You have this system. It's a tried and tested system. It's been going since 2010. And it hasn't just helped the kind of the business owners, the one-man band, so to speak, business owners, solopreneurs and people like that. I've used this in places such as the Metropolitan Police here in the UK, which is a very big force, like well over 36,000 employees. So it's a big force. I've used this to underpin some corporate trainings that I've delivered over the years in some companies which shall remain nameless, non-disclosure agreement. But these are brands that if I were to say their name, you'd go, oh my gosh, you did some work with them. I've used these techniques and shared these with people at talks that I've given, whether it's been from the Excel stage in London, or whether it's been from the QE2 conference centre, or whether it's been at talk, given to people at Google, or in travel companies, or in professional development companies. So the question here isn't, does this stuff work? The underlying question is, does this work for me? So the first thing when you're being more iconic and positioning your brand so it's more memorable, so that you're having the sort of people that you want to have working with you, is to really define who you're speaking to. I tend to go into more detail when we have time. Throwing this out on the internet actually does a disservice to you, but being clear on who you're speaking to is important. Second thing is knowing the kind of business that you want to build. There's no point being on planes, trains, and automobiles and flying all the way around the world when you have a young family at home and you want to be close by at home. If you want to fly on plane, trains, and automobiles and go all around the world, you've got a young family at home, but that's what you want to do, that's okay. And you need to be steadfast in that, because let's say in the example I gave, you do want to be traveling around the world, you don't want to be close at home with the family all the time, or maybe you want to bring them with you. There will be people in the world that will disagree with you. They'll shame you. They'll tell you that that's not the thing that a parent is supposed to do. And if you haven't made that decision in terms of your business approach or your business model, it will be like somebody will poke you and you'll fall over. So knowing the kind of business that you have, or that you work within, or that you work for, is of paramount importance, because that gives you kind of like the stableness, the steady ground. And the other thing is knowing how to position your credibility. Now, I see this a lot where people admire various different people online. A lot of you are massive fans of Stephen Bartlett's Diary of a CEO. He has phenomenal guests on there. And the minute that you want to show up online, you now want different camera angles, you want your iPad in front of you, you only want big name people, and you want to do it like Stephen Bartlett. But Stephen Bartlett has already put his plan out there. He knows where he's going to, and that might not have always been the case, but he's doing the thing that he wants to do. And because of that, and because it has grown, that is why his brand has become iconic. Yes, he does other things as well. He speaks as well. I spoke on at an event that he was speaking at, which was quite no pressure, Jenny. So there's these different ways of approaching it. But when you position yourself as somebody else, it very rarely works out. It's exhausting to keep up with. And you're not necessarily remembered because you're not really being anybody, let alone you. So the little fourth nugget, so let me just go back. So knowing who you're speaking to, knowing your business model and the way you want to be, and knowing how to position yourself, those are the first three things. But thing four is, once you've got a modicum at least of clarity on that, is to be able to embody it. If I showed up here as a visibility specialist and I said something along the lines of, I'm doing a year of videos and live streams, and breathe, I'm here again, and I'm going to do this, and I'm on day 22, which is true, I am on day 22, but I came to you. It's not that I sound nervous, although I was kind of hamming it up for the camera. It's that I haven't embodied it. Even when I kind of came out of character to say, actually, that's true, it is day 22, I embody this work. I live it, I breathe it, I feel it. I don't force it on myself. It kind of, it's within me and wants to come out. It wants to be shared. I have no issue with being here on camera. Have no issue if the phone falls over on its side. I have no issue if I trip up. And as one live, I had no issue when I thought I'd broken my phone, only to find I was still streaming live and the camera was shooting up my skirt. I was mortified, but I was able to literally, as the saying goes, keep calm and carry on because it's embodied. So that's the fourth thing. And the final thing is, whatever you offer, whether it's paid for, free, or anything else, it's important to understand in a world that can be noisy. Imagine that you are trying to put something out there on Facebook, 3 billion active users, just under 3 billion active users. It needs to stand out, not by you, being a kind of a performing dog or something, but it needs to stand out because you are being you, you're speaking to the right people, they resonate with what you say because not everybody will. And if somebody disagrees with you, it doesn't send you into a meltdown and you don't think to yourself, oh, that's it, I can't put myself out there anymore because this happened. That happens a lot. So have a think about how you can position yourself in an iconic way, but don't think about how you can do it. Go back, answer those questions for yourself. I would suggest writing them down because what happens is, like a seed that you've planted and watered, it grows. And you will come back to that and likely add things onto it. You'll notice things that are happening in life. You'll notice the gaps and the frustrations and the tolerations that you have. And at that point, you'll wonder how best to put yourself back on the right course. Of course, there are other things like a strong vision, making an impact, and all sorts of other things that I cover in the visibility vibe system. But for now, just like breathe that in, take that in, and let that iconic person be you. Let you be the person who's iconically branded as you. Let's be the person who's iconically authentic. You're the person that has an iconic impact. You're the person that's iconically memorable. You're the person that's iconically clear. Let that person be you. That's it for today, day 22. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you take away most from this. But most of all, your voice matters. Embody it, get it out in the world. Bye for now.